Hey guys, welcome back to the JPM Performance channel and our final installment in the Rocketeer Miata build series. I know that I didn't detail every teeny tiny piece of this build. However, I'm also trying to make a living here, and sometimes when you get into a project, you just have to get after it. What I want to do today is I want to take a look not only under the hood, but underneath the car, and I'm just going to point out some of the little details that maybe you may or may not notice during your build if you're doing it yourself. I will say, while I do believe that someone with good mechanical knowledge can do this, it's like anything. There's always a little bit of extra fabrication and know-how that you need to do a build like this. It is not just a bolt together kit. Everything takes a little extra effort. We'll go through some of those things. So I'm going to jump behind the camera here and we'll go through this. So all in all, since you guys have been watching this, all in all, I'm very happy with the build, how it's turned out. I think some of the bigger things that maybe were slightly frustrating for me at first was making sure that the kit was complete and that I had everything to do this and the knowledge to do it. But you can see it's just a beautiful looking engine sitting inside of this beautiful red NA Miata. So just looking around here a little bit, one of the things that I noticed is, you can probably barely see it, but right down here is the electric water pump. I ended up modifying the bracket that they provide a little bit to get it to fit these hoses. Everything is really tight. There are extremely tight spots for hoses, and you want to make sure they're not rubbing on anything. This one here comes back and goes all the way over to the heater core. You can see how nice these throttle bodies are, but getting these to balance so the main throttle cable comes into this throttle body right here, and then as you can see as I'm doing this, you need to get this one to work just perfect. One of the things I did notice is after it was ran a little bit, this upper cable stretched just a tiny bit, and so then I had to readjust this side and that side over there to make that perfect. And I believe that this may be an ongoing thing as it breaks in, that we might need to adjust these cables just a tiny bit. So I chose to mount the fuel pressure regulator back here. It goes through the cowl or through the fresh air intake here into the back side. But these are just things that you kind of have to make up yourself. I made my own special little washers here to mount the regulator right there, and it worked out great. You could run this fuel rail either direction. I chose to run it to the front. I think I've actually seen guys that have run it either way, but because this is coming off of this side of the regulator, I chose to run it around the front. But make sure you guys go through and put some zip ties around all this stuff. You can see I've got zip ties really all over the place, holding things. You don't want things to be moving around and rubbing, because that is just going to cause issues. Now, one thing that I did come up with, the stock Jaguar dipstick honestly will not clear this throttle body very easily. So I cut off half of the dipstick. Now you can get it in there quite easily, and it's not an issue at all. So pull up your extra wires that you don't need for the Miata engine and secure them out of the way. You're going to find that there's going to be quite a bit of that. You can see we did install an aftermarket radiator here on this one. But let's go ahead and go up in the air and take a look underneath. See, this car, of course, has these beautiful Koenig wheels. I chose these Continental tires. These are 205 50/15s. Let's see if we can get a good look. So these are Extreme Contact Sport 2s, Sport Plus technology. So these are sticky, 040 on tread, traction 2A's, temperature single A. This is something that you're going to want for good summer driving. Anyway, I think they're really cool. And I think the wheels that the customer picked out are really cool too. One thing that I was definitely impressed with on this kit is the exhaust. The exhaust fits very, very well. Now, on an NA, it comes with this second tip here. So I made a cut. Now there's no template for this, so I tried to measure from basically the toe hook here over to the cut and tried to mimic this side as closely as I could. As you can see, it fits pretty good. But the exhaust really turned out good, and so did these feel coilovers. The car rides really nice. Now, something I hadn't seen, you can see it's got a spot for the stock oxygen sensor. It's got a nice catalytic converter. I hadn't seen these style of exhaust clamps before, but they work really good. It's like a barrel style exhaust clamp. But you can see the exhaust clears the transmission very nicely. The starter is right here. If we roll around to the front a little bit, you can see the stock steering rack fits in place with the brackets nicely, clears the pan. There's lots of room for the alternator over here. It's a little more snug over on this side with the power steering. But here's the other thing that we did. So because the oil filter will not clear the steering rack, they provided this mount here for the oil cooler. I mean for the oil filter. What I did is I used a couple of riv nuts here in the frame to mount this, and then I ended up changing the length of their lines a little bit, and this runs over. This is going to be pretty tough to see, but you can see it runs over right here, just in front of this exhaust. So now we've got a way to easily change the oil right here. I'm going to install the plastic guard here, but I wanted to leave it off to show you guys some of this. So it's all pretty snug, but it does fit. Here's a couple more of these barrel clamps, but you need to be very careful of your wiring, make sure nothing's rubbing. But all in all, I think it turned out great. And as you guys could tell from the dyno session, it sounds great too. So I don't know that I could be a lot happier about this whole setup. The car's been, it's such a joy to work on a car that is low mileage like this. Now, you're not going to see 96 Miatas with 32,000 miles on them very often. But because this basically upgrades the entire front subframe, it gives you the opportunity to pull the suspension apart and change bushings if you need to. This car obviously was in such great shape that we didn't need to do any of that. But boy, it just sounds good, runs good, drives nicely. I'm very, very impressed with all of this. So, like I say, I appreciate you guys watching this project. It's been a fun project for me, and I think as we do more and more of them, we're going to learn a few more things, and they're going to get, I don't know that they're going to get better and better, because this thing's pretty cool. And I, of course, took the time to do it right, like I would do any race car build as well. So, hope you guys have enjoyed this Rocketeer build series. Appreciate you watching, as always. Stay tuned for more projects on the JPM Performance channel. We're always doing something. You guys keep working on your cars. Take care.